Now this is the customer's Bombardier from last year, and he brought it in for service. This is that insurance claim job, but he's had it parked here, and the battery froze because of these extreme temperatures, and Dad managed to get everything fixed. So we're gonna move this one out here today. Because it's just in the way, and we're gonna remove in the blue Bombardier, and I can hear Dad. He's started it up already outside, so we're just going to open the doors and move these two machines. So Dad has the blue Bomber started up here, and he's just letting it warm up. We had it plugged in so that battery wouldn't freeze on this one, and he's got some work to do still on the diff here. We're hoping it's just U-bolts. So just firing this one up after it's had its battery changed, and we're going to see how it runs and move it out of the shop. I think Dad is just checking the gauges here.
They have to idle for at least a couple of minutes to warm up so the choke comes off. Otherwise it bogs down quick.
So Dad's just going to let this run here for a bit just so it warms up, and then hopefully we get it out of the door. And here's our Charles in charge and our Daisy Puckatawagan garbage dog. Yeah. Giving it a little gas. And he's got to shut her off. So we got the blue Bomber fired up outside here. Dad's got to do some final tweaking. It was really cold here this morning, and he had to adjust the choke. So it's just putting the filter back on top of the carburetor there, and we're going to move it around here. So Dad got this one fired up again here. We're warming up the blue Bomber outside. We're going to warm this one up here for a bit, and then we're going to open the doors and pull this one out and move in the blue Bomber. So Dad's going to move out the mauve Bombardier now. Dogs are supervising. Get out of the way, you guys. Get out of the way. Out of the shop again. Frozen battery. Replace the battery. Had to tighten up some fuel lines too. Okay, so he's reversing out the blue Bomber now, and we're going to move this back into the shop. Dad's got to replace some bolts or tighten them up, because the diff is moving too much. It's about -40 with the wind chill here today, but the dogs are playing and they just love their friends. So they're gonna move back in here, and just gonna get Dad centered. So he's got it parked back in the shop. Okay, so we got it back in the shop and we're just gonna let it thaw out a bit here. And Dad's got to look at the diff, and we still got to move the other Bombardier back into parking position. So he's just gotten back into the Bombardier, and now he's just going to move her into place. This might take a couple turns, but we'll see how it goes. That looks like it right there. So we're going to shut her off and plug it in. Hopefully these temperatures don't stay the same and it gets a little warmer here. It's awfully expensive changing out batteries.
Pressure is good. Temperature is around 170. That's with the door pretty near closed.
Okay.
These old belters, first thing you should do if the motor runs good and is not using oil is take the carburetor off, throw it in the garbage and get a rebuilt or a new one, put it on. Otherwise,
nothing but
57
problems.
years old.
Yeah. So Dad's got the blue Bomber back in the shop, and he's going to do some adjusting on the engine here. That seemed to make it run a little smoother. Anyway, it's just thawing out here. We're having issues with the diff where it's going kind of up and down. Dad's hoping it's just U-bolts, and he's we gotta get everything thawed out. He's hoping this is an easy fix where he can get underneath there and just tighten up a couple bolts. But he's noticed here that this track's not really centered either, so we gotta look at that. And he's got some playing around with here on this thing here to make sure it gets out to the door for the customer. But otherwise, other than that little bit here, he's hoping he's done on this machine. Okay, so what do you think of the big axle on the back, Peter?
I would say, considering you're dealing with 50, 60-year-old machines, you never know the history of that axle. It's been pounded out and abused. Definitely go with the big axle on every machine if you have the opportunity.
Okay.